Coach Helen for YouFit Studio, saying downright, my opinion is, she's honest, my opinion, and I know that some of the coaches may not be on the same page as me, but I always stick to this: meal plans suck. Right, meal plans suck, and I'm gonna tell you why. I tell you why I did this live, because it is very common, and I got this a lot in kind of like the October time, on the run up to Christmas. I want a meal plan. I want to have a meal plan. Coach Helen, have a meal plan. Firstly, no. It's not for me to do that for you. However, I think it's kind of like, certainly if I get a brand new client, if I'm talking to a client, first time on the phone, they ring up, they're like, that she just, if I pick up the phone, this is me picking up the phone. See me picking up the phone, see that? If I'm picking up the phone to a brand new person who's inquiring, I'm just going to sit here like this, like I'm on the phone, a brand new inquiring about having a personal trainer or a coach, one of the first things they'll say is, do meal plans, because that's what I'm looking for. And I will always outrightly say, no, this is not what we do. I understand it, and I understand why people want to probably do more fixed food, run up to something like Christmas and New Year, because they're concerned about the weight, etc. Now, I think there's also an expectation about the industry that having a meal plan is part of the service or package to expect, right? That that they're going to have that just staple as whatever they get with personal trainer. And that is not the case, right? When it comes to us, for sure, okay? The expectation might be there, and there are some pros, and I'm not going to pros why occasionally having more control over your diet or etc. can be useful. So the pros, for sure, I could probably just need like the pros about 2 seconds. The pros are you can take out the unknown element, certainly if you're not sure about what to eat in terms of what is good for me. Generally speaking, like, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're not going to get a hit on there, so right, this amount of calories, you're going to lose weight. What we are going to say is that, okay, if we're having this as a plan, it gives you a general idea of what foods to choose from, generally speaking, if you're going to make a healthy, balanced meal. The trouble comes into the fact when it's incredibly strict. We've seen it from other coaches and PTs before, and this isn't me judging any other PT or coach, by the way, because this is what clients ask for, and I can understand as a coach as well. If someone's saying, I'm paying you, give me a food plan. Some coaches go, right, well, okay, let me do that for you because that's what you're asking. If you just keep saying no, right, I will always say no. However, if you see some of these plans, or if you've seen some that are quite restrictive, well, when I say quite restrictive, they're exactly like a recipe for your meal every single day. Now, where it gets interesting, when I get into a conversation with a client and say, right, okay, so you want a meal plan, let's talk about it, because I'm going to talk to someone and say, right, okay, let's find out the reason. Why is it you feel that you need you need a meal plan right now, so I can better understand what it is that I can do to further support you, perhaps in a different way. That's what I'm thinking in the background, right? And then we'll get into, right, you know, so I'll get into nitty gritty. So you understand that to have a meal plan is to have a meal plan for 7 days a week, right? It's not 5 days a week. It's 7 days a week, and it's 3 days in a day, 3 meals a day, right? 3 meals a day, the same every single day for potentially 7 days, and that is what you're going to get. How would you actually feel about that? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I know how I, as a human being, would feel about eating the same meal every day for 7 days. Personally, I'd probably love it if it was Marmite sandwiches for breakfast every day, right? Because I can be quite black and white about food, right? I could probably maintain it for maybe 2 weeks, right? 2 or 3 weeks. And that, funnily enough, is probably about average. Most people get to like the 3rd week, are like, I am not having this on a Saturday night, right? That's the truth, right? So when we want a food plan, we're looking for firm restrictions, but it really often goes wrong, right? It just goes wrong to pot straight off the back, right? I'm going to tell you one. I've gone through, right? I thought about 3 versions of what happens, right? Option 1, you do not stick to that bad boy, right? You don't stick to it. I've seen people come off it within 1 day, right? 1 day, right? Things happen, right? This is what happens if you try to be around, and this is just not with food plans. This is actually just in general. If you're trying to be very restrictive with your food and say, I must have this, I must have this. Life gets in the way, right? Kids get in the way, work gets in the way. Anything can happen to take you off course, right? So you just do not stick to it. But you often see as well, when people talk about their previous experiences with having food plans, is they actually just rebel. They rebel against it because it's like saying, you should do this, you should do that, do this is good, do that is bad. Now, again, human beings, that we are beautiful people, we love to rebel. So we want to do exactly the same opposite. If people say you should do this, there is a part of us that wants to go, no, I will not do that. For pure basis, I can say no. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to behave like this and say no, 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 no. So these things are that generally tend to bring out the rebellious side of people, and they just don't stick to it, right? Option 2. Again, previous experiences when a client comes to work with us, they have stuck to those plans like glue. I'm not this glue, right? They've stuck to these plans like they are the lifeblood of existence. Literally to a T. We'll prep food 2 days in advance. We'll be there on a Saturday night having the same meal as I had on Friday, the same meal I had on Thursday, the same, can you see where I'm going with this? Same meal I had on Wednesday. These people are generally single, by the way, I'm going to say. These people are generally single, probably spend their whole life training, don't go out much. I'm not, that's massive sweeping statement judgment. However, generally speaking, you can see where I go with this. If someone sticks to it very, 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 very closely, they've usually got a lot of time to give to it, more time than average, probably. They're very regimented, they can be very anal about it, whatever you want to say about it. And what this can do actually is almost create another challenge, which is someone who comes to us and they're like, I need control of my food. They're literally eating their fingers in my office because over the video, right? Because they're like, I need control of my food. They eat their hands. I need control of my food. I need regiment. There's a lot of anxiety that can get built around it when someone has been 100% on it 100% of the time, because what they're doing is those things I talked about when you don't stick to it, those life things are still happening, by the way, right? They're still happening. Work is busy. They may have kids, right? They might not be single. Kids are kicking off. Other half is like, when you're going to stop and doing your food, doing the food the way you are separately, is when you're going to start eating with us. All this stress and pressure is there because they want to keep on top of it so badly that they will literally kind of start to push all those other elements of their life away to become very fixed on sticking to the plan 150%. Now again, you can imagine, right, if you put yourself in that position, so you've got 2 positions, right? One where you're eating the same meal every day, 7 days a week. One where you're just rebelling to hell. And then the other one where you're just like, I am doing this because it's the most important thing of my life, and I will do it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end, right? I will keep pushing everything out of my life to stick to this plan that I have because I know it works. And at that point, it probably does work. I mean, they're probably not very popular amongst their social or family life, and they've probably not got much else going on. However, they're in their own little world. Now, part of that, again, the anxiety that gets created around food is quite high, right? Option 3. So there's option 1. Option 1 is do not stick to it, rebel it, suck it in the arse straight away, 24 hours or less maybe. 2 is stick to it like glue, like it's lifeline, own challenges, own problems. 3, follow it for a bit, and it still sucks, right? So when I say a bit, somewhere between the 2 of those behaviours, so maybe 3 or 4 weeks. When clients talk about it, they'll say, yeah, start to 3 to 4 weeks. Get bored and frustrated. Generally, just, you know what, they'll never do it again. I'll say that. Generally say, I've experienced it, I don't want to do it, right? If they have done it with previous clients. So it's interesting, right? So all of these experiments, I'm making it sound quite negative, and what I'm saying is they do work. When we've seen clients come to us, they will say, like, when I've had it before, it has worked for a period of time, and they almost want to kickstart or revamp something by saying, or coming to us and saying, right, first thing I want to do is get a food plan and get the ball rolling. And how we approach it is very different, right? Now, again, can't give all the secrets away. However, having said, we're going to talk about it now because might as well. We've got a new challenge starting in January. January 11th, we're starting a challenge, and we're going to go through nutrition with all those participants taking part, so they'll get a personalised nutrition pack, right? And we do it very differently. When I say that, by the way, that does not mean a food plan. No, right? The idea is that they're always, in my mind, personally, if I think about a client and their personal experiences, if you think about what I've just talked about, all in, something restrictive is only ever useful for a short period of time. Now, even if I've got a client with a very strict goal timeline, I won't go to a meal plan to get that done, because firstly, it's not really in my remit to do that, right? Secondly, because for the reasons I've just said, it doesn't work. It only works for a very short period of time, and that short window of time is dependent on the person's personality, their environment, their ability to maintain it, right? And how much effort they can put into it, and how much time, right? So if you think about two worlds where somebody just comes off it straight away because they've got too much going on, too much at work, too much family, too much environment, and the other end of the scale when they've got absolutely nothing to do but other than do the food plan, most of us probably sit somewhere within that range, which stands to reason then that being restrictive in any method of looking at nutrition, whether it's meal plans, sucky meal plans, or any other, right, have to be dependent on your personal environment, your personal situation, your personal amount of time that you can give to nutrition, to preparing food, to shopping, to the recipes, everything else, right? That's all specific to you, right? Now, if I said, and I know some people watch, if I said, do this, do that, do this, eat that, with any of my clients, they've worked with this amount of time now, I think I'd get a straight F word back now. That being said, it's not, there is something in between having a meal plan and having no plan that works, right? And that's what we do specifically. Now, yes, I've mentioned the challenge, and yes, I want to put a link on. I have put a link for the revamp on, right, which is something similar to that, but we'll be doing the nutrition differently in the new year for those guys doing the challenge. Drop one size dress challenge, right? The food will be done slightly differently. You know, it will give an idea of what's unique to you based on your ability to train, how much energy you're expending, whatever, you get technical with it, right? And also just generally your goals, right? If you have a specific goal, we can work out how to guide you on food based on you as an individual, based on your physicality, based on a lot of different issues, but none of them are nothing to do with a food plan or saying this is like, oh God, what was one that the client told me before? She did a 6-week challenge and they just got like, literally, I joke about it as the epitome of all evil. Chicken, rice and broccoli, it was actually what they have for 6 weeks. No caffeine, no alcohol, no chocolate, no sweets, no cake. I mean, I'm blinking, so I'm like, I was like, how did you do on that? She's like, I had no fun, no joy. We always like our challenges to be, and all our nutrition with our clients, to be a balance of understanding what's right for the individual, which is, you know, to some degree still about calorie content, whether it's on a food plan or something else, and also having a balance. So having a balance of food that makes you feel good, that makes you engaged with your food, that makes your food interesting and fun, right? This is where meal plans or being very restrictive is very, very key. The greatest things I hear, although I can nitpick about the language, right? The greatest things I hear from a client, if I hear a client, right, say anything works with us when it comes to nutrition or how we approach nutrition or support them. Couple of things actually. One of them really sticks out this year, really sticks out this year. So with an online client who said, I wish that somebody told me this easy early on. Right? I wish that someone told me it's that easy, because this kind of gone for every known approach to dealing with food, as well as having one of these previously somewhere else, right? I wish I'd known it's so easy. And what's the other one that I love? Oh, I just feel like it's not a diet. Although only argument here is a diet, your food is your diet, right? But I feel like it's not restrictive. I get to have what I want and still lose weight. I get to have what I want and still lose weight, right? And then when I hear that, that's why I always almost, like, this is why this is always in the back of my mind, this situation. A, because I get asked it a lot, and B, every time when I hear a statement like that from a client, like I feel like I can eat what I want to lose weight. I'm like, yes, for the win, right? I can feel myself like kicking one in the back of the net and going, oh, crowd goes wild, right? Because that's exactly how I'd want it to be for every single person who's looking to be healthy with their food and nutrition. And it's a shame, I guess, that the industry is what it is set up to almost support that a restrictive diet, I'm going to use the word, or restrictive food plan, or a plan of sorts, is one of the most effective, if the only effective way to reduce somebody's body fat, or get them to the goal they want. Right? There's a time and a place for everything in the world. I'm not poo-pooing it, because I want to say the word poo-poo. I'm not poo-pooing it, right? I'm literally not. I can't judge something that I don't do, right? I don't do it. So I can be Switzerland on that point as well. What I do know, and what I have experienced and I have seen, is using a completely polar opposite approach to nutrition and supporting somebody have the best of both worlds, which is entirely opposite to sucking arse on a food plan, right? So again, if you want to find out more, you can hit up on the link I'm going to put in for sure. Okay, I think I've already done it. Hang on, me using the internet at the minute is a nightmare. I will post it on the Instagram comments afterwards. It is on the Facebook. As I said, you can contact us through that if you're interested in getting some more information about the challenge in January and how we would do that potentially for you. Certainly, like January is the month of the meal plan question. I swear. I could do a live on that as well. But as it is, you know, we're jumping on the bandwagon, as Coach Sam calls it, and doing the challenge in January. So if you want to find out more about your nutrition or how we would do nutrition for you, then absolutely contact us, because we can specifically do that nutritional plan for you, right? That isn't sucky meal plan, right? That is allowing you to literally, I love it when someone says, I can't believe I can, okay, 3 things. I love it when someone says, I can eat cake and still lose weight. I'm like this. Yes, you can. My face, I'm like this, because I feel like my face will break from a smile, because I'm like, yes, you can. It's amazing. Now, you don't eat cake alone. I'm just going to make that clear. We don't go, here's your food plan, it's just cake, right? No, right? We will support you to set up your nutrition in a way that you have freedom, independence, and fun with your food, so you can still lose weight and not suck at being restricted, right? I as a client, I love talking about this. As a client, I know I came to it with the same kind of attitude that this was the only way to do it. And actually, the freedom, I really enjoy when clients get to a space when they fully understand that, and it kind of like the penny drops, and they can literally have a vast array of food in their diet, which still includes food they used to have, and them experimenting with new food, and still having fun, cake, chocolate, biscuits, cookies, right? And still knowing where to balance it individually for them. It isn't like the same thing every day, 7 days a week. Right, recap. Do meal plans suck? Yes, they do. They suck. Sucky, right? They suck. Personal, professional opinion, sucky, right? Flat out, right? Suck. We kind of, as a client, right? So again, as a client and as a coach, I have seen both sides of the coin. Understand as a client, like my expectation that is part of the journey, and as a coach, understanding that why clients would want to have that, because it's like the big push at the beginning, like tell me exactly what to eat. Tell me exactly what to eat. Then you come back and say, firstly, no, I don't do that. But secondly, that is 7 days a week. Like, you're eating the same thing on Sunday night as you were on Tuesday night. I might be able to give you 2 options, really, if we want to get picky, but we're saying, like, limited, right? No, restrictive. Pros, I cover pros very quickly. Pros, I'm guessing, like, for that reason, you take away the unknowns, give someone a good solid base. I get that. But the cons, we're talking, like, some of these I've seen, like I said, like 2 eggs for breakfast, some spinach. I'm saying the voice because I can't judge. But when we are strict with food, just in general, the longevity does not work. Okay, so I said what happens. 3 options. Generally, what I see: option 1, I didn't stick for 24 hours. If at all, rebel. Life gets in the way. Life is like work, kids, other commitments, car breaking down, anything, right? Anything gets in the way, and generally speaking, like 30% on it, maybe, if at all. 2, stuck to it like glue. Come to us like twitching, like I need to know exactly how many grams of protein to have a day. Have a whole heap of anxiety around food. Probably not, I did touch on it, probably not eating with their own family if they do have kids and partner, probably eating separately. One of the maddest ones I've ever heard is a client taking their own food out to eat. So sat outside a restaurant with family sat inside. Now that's because they'd had that experience previously before coming to us, and we're like, what? Okay. No. Okay. And 3, follow it for a bit. A bit can be, I don't know, a couple of weeks, then probably got bored, frustrated, and again, kind of on and off it, right? But either way, generally speaking, there are different ways to approach it. And again, you want to find out more, hit us up, not literally. It's Christmas, we don't like this kind of thing. Contact us on the link, book in a call, and we'll give you some insight into what it actually entails. And if you ask if there's a meal plan in the call after seeing this, oh, please do. I hope I take the call. Like, okay, let's discuss. Yeah, every time I book with a call to inquiry, do you do meal plans? I'm like this. Well, now you know kind of an insight to the answer you would probably get if you ask a question. The great thing is that we don't need to be as restrictive to lose weight. And the fantastic thing about flipping love about the job is when somebody says the things I've heard this year, like, that's the one. Wish I know it's so easy. I wish I can eat cake and lose weight. I don't remember the third one, because those two are just the blinders on their own, right? So if you want to find out more, contact us. Tomorrow, stress and eating strategies, because people are a little bit stressed on or up to Christmas. So I've had a few convos about that. So join me tomorrow, Thursday tomorrow already, jeez, at 5 o'clock again. I'm going to cover that one. In the meantime, as always, latest.